Hussam Al. I am a digital designer at Giuliani Associates Architects, and I'm here to talk about architecture visualization. And today we will start talking about 3D Studio Max. And there's like three subjects I want to talk about it today, which is actually under sitting in Max, and how to start building a scene in a 3D Studio Max. So the first thing you want to know is how to check the unit if they are right or wrong, and you want to check even the snaps as well, and then we will start drawing lines and shapes in a 3D Studio Max. Usually when you start building anything, like if you want to cook at the kitchen or something, you have to prepare the tools and the gradients, and put everything around you before you start. Then nothing will stop you till you finish your job. So let's go ahead and start talking about how to set up a scene in a 3D Studio Max. So as you can see here is the 4 viewport inside 3D Studio Max. And then the first thing we want to do today is go to Customize, and then go to Unit Setup, and check if the unit setup is right or it is the thing that we want to start working with. So we're working with US standard, so we will select that, and then from the default unit we will select feet or inch. It depends on what you want to work with. But the most important thing that when you go to the system unit setup over here, make sure you are working on inches, because if it's something else selected like millimeter or centimeter, that means you will out of the scale and you have to go back and fix everything again. So you select inches and you hit OK, and again here you select feet or inches and you hit OK. And now if you go all the way on the right and you hit anything in here, you can see the unit is turned to feet and inches as well. Okay, the second thing you want to do is make sure that you are working on the right snap, because the snap setting, it might work with the grid unit and the point, or it may work with the vertex, so you can jump on the vertex. So usually we use a vertex snap, which is allow us to go and trace over any AutoCAD drawing. So we will go ahead and select the snap, and you notice if we click on the snap and hold down, there's 3 types of snap: 2, 2.5, and 3. The difference between these 3 things: 2, usually we use it in the top view, so it's work in 2D dimension on the top view only. 2.5, it will work for in the elevation, so in the front, left, this kind of things. And then 3 will work to snap in the 3D dimensional space, like perspective or camera. So for now we will keep it 2. And then if you right click on the snap icon, it will show you a window where you can control and select what you want to do with the snap. So for now, as you can see, the snap will work on the grid points. So we will uncheck this so it will not bother us, and then we will check vertex. So the vertex allow us to jump in between and select the vertices of the shapes, and this is what we want to do right now. So we close this. Now we are ready. So we talked about the snaps, we talked about the unit system, and now we will start drawing shapes and lines. To start to draw anything, you have to go to the control menu over here, and you click the first tab, which is create, and then underneath it you can find create geometry, shapes, lights, camera, and so on. So today, because we're going to talk about lines and shape, so we are going to click on shapes right now. And as you notice, under the shapes, there's a couple of things underneath it, which is line, circle, arc, any different kind of shapes. They already there, so we can use it. For example, if you just want to create a rectangular, so you click on it and you drag and drop in the top viewport like this, and you notice the snap will highlight the corner of the rectangular. But if you want to go and draw something free or trace over AutoCAD drawing, it's better to start with a line. So if you click on the line, and then you have drawing that came from AutoCAD like this rectangular here, you can just click and drag and work to finish your drawing like this. And then when you're done, it will ask you if you want to close the zip line. So you hit OK, and now you have the rectangular that you created with the shape, or with the line actually. So you have one which is basically a rectangular, and the second one which is a line, and you can find this over here. So this is the case when you start drawing shapes. There is two ways to do this: creating shape right away like rectangle, circle, or whatever, or using a line to draw this kind of shapes. So let's go and see what is the line sub-object are. When we said sub-object, that means what does this line contain, like what is built of. So if we click on the line and we draw a line like this, and you right click to end the line, you have to go after that to control it to something called modify, which is next to the create tab panel here. So we click on modify, and then you see three sub-objects. You see vertex, segment, and zip line. Let's do it again here. So these are the vertex. So click on vertex. So these are the vertex, and in between the vertex you have the segment, and then the whole thing just one zip line, because it's just one shape actually. So if we want to move the zip line, you just select it and move it up and down. But notice, usually we hover over the axis to make sure that our zip line is going to the direction that we need. But right now you can see, even if I hover over the y-axis, it's still going to other way. And that's because the snap, it's on. So we have to turn the snap off. And now if I hover over the y-axis, I can go up and down only. Okay? If I go with x-axis, actually, I can go in this direction only. If I want to go both direction, I have to hover over the corner over here, and you can see both of them highlight with the yellow color, and then I can move it like this. So this is basically to move the sub-object, subline, sub-object. Then let's try segment. The segment which is in between the vertices. So you can see that you can move the segment in any direction that you need. And the last thing, which is the vertex, so I can select the vertex, and then I click on it and just move it in any way I want. Remember that you have to hover over the axis that you need to do a movement on it and move it like this. The other thing I want to talk about it, which is how many type of vertex we have in Max. So if I select the vertex, right now, as you can see, the segment that get in the vertex and get out of the vertex are corner. That's why you see very straight line right now. So if I right click on it, I go all the way up like this, you see four type of vertex. You see Bezier corner, Bezier and corner, which is checked right now, and smooth. If I click on smooth, anything get to that vertex and get out of the vertex is going to be smooth like this, as you can see. If I right click again and I select corner, it's going to be very straight line. Okay, and if I right click and I select Bezier, Bezier, so you will notice there's two handles right now, green handle, and then if I click in between X and Y and move them, that will allow me to control the smooth angle that get in and out of the vertex, like this. And then if I right click on it again and I select Bezier corner, as you can see, it allows me to move one handle at a time and move it in any direction I want. And this is basically what you want to do when you trace over AutoCAD drawing or even a sketch, hand write sketch or whatever. You can just put it in the viewport and trace over it with the line and change the vertex type and move it around in any way you want. So basically this is it for the line right now. So the other thing I want to talk about it, if you notice when we turn this line to smooth, if I go to vertex again and I turn this vertex to smooth, you notice the line is really not that smooth. So let me maximize the viewport so you can see what I'm talking about. So we go all the way down in the right corner. There is an icon called maximize viewport toggle. When I press on it, it will maximize the viewport, as you can see. So press in, you get in and out the maximum viewport. So notice the smooth is not working probably here, and you can see segment that will make the whole curve. So there is a way to make it smoother. You have to go under the line, interpolation, and then I click on it, and you notice the steps is 6 only. So if I increase the number here, you will see how the corner or how the curve will be more smooth and really accurate for our work right now. And the reason of that, because in 3D Studio Max, they don't want you to consume the RAM. So they want you to add those steps as much as you need it only. Not just by default is going to be too much for you and then you consuming a lot of RAM and then you're done. So again, in here, in this vertex, you don't need more than, if you draw a line like this, you don't need more than 6 steps. So that will keep the shape clean and very light for the max. But this one here, the curve, and any curve line that need more, at least need about 16 or more steps. It depends how much smoother the line is going to be. Okay, so let me talk about even something else here. If we press shift and we move the line, let me get out of the line. So if I move it and I hold down shift control from the keyboard, it will copy anything that I moved right now, like this. And you have 3 different type of copy. The regular copy, which is mean these 2 copies are completely different than each other. The instance, which is mean any change I will made in this copy, it will reflect on the original copy as well. Reference, it will work in one direction. So if I made a change on the original, that will make a change again on the new one. But if I make a change on the new one, that will not reflect on the original one. So right now we will make it completely different copy, and you can rename it from here and you hit OK. Okay, so these 2 completely different copy right now. So if I want to put them together at the same shape, there is an attach option, which is allow me to attach any other shape to make it these two shapes just one object, as you can see. But now if I go to subpline, I'm able to select each one individually. So for today, this is it, guys, and I'm very happy that we have you again, and see you at the next lecture. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.